What's up? Oh, how we doing? Am I live? Did it go live? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yeah. I'm back. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hey, Shelly. What's going on, my people? Lena J, Mandy, Mike, Lisa J Bram, 619, Miss Shelley, OZ, Durkis, Autumn, Mandy. My alert never came through about the MACD. I did. I caught it. Autumn. I was gone all day, pretty much. 2 different appointments and Big Ronald, what's up, brother? Selfish, was you got in on my alert? Ohana, welcome. I understand, JR Outdoors. You know how many times I've missed the pump? Countless. Because you know what? You can't time the news. You can't time the news. I gave this. I want to show you how important that is. I think I was on the road when I typed it. So even if I ain't with you guys or doing a coaching class, I'm still looking and watching patterns. Here is the MACD. Here is the 1 hour cross up. Right here. At 11 o'clock. And let's see here. I just want to go back and check. $12:13 p.m. I put that out. So let's check it. 12 o'clock. I'll take you down to a 5-minute. And does anybody see this is the volume shelf, right? I think I ran this on a 15 this morning. I wanted to get over this second shelf. I wanted to get over this second shelf. That was my main concern all day. If you go back and look at the 5, we were coming up. We had a nice run early. We came up and got right to this big volume shelf and got rejected. We tried it again. We got rejected. But we held this shelf, right? I was watching this on my phone, and we stayed in this shelf and held it, and we kept trying to rise through until the point where that 1 hour MACD crossed, and I posted that at 12:13. So about right in here, I posted. I just want to take the volume shelf off for a second. Just going off of the candles. What were we doing? Let's go back and set the day up, okay? Let's go back and set the day up. Just the candles and VWAP. I'll even take the 9 EMA off. What's up, Scott? Sailfish, how much did you make on Norman? You lost $1,500. Okay. All right. Let's go back and set our day up. Now, for anybody halfway new, we're going to put a horizontal line at the highest point of pre-market. The brown shading is pre-market. Here's pretty much the highs of pre-market. I'm going to put it on top of these bodies. I like that line because this wick also came up and touched this line and got knocked down from this red candle. So I like that line pretty good. Let's go set the bottom up. Where's the lows of pre-market? Right here. Lows of pre-market. Almost with the lows of yesterday after hours, but a little bit lower. So we call it 485.50 pretty much. Okay. Sailfish 4,900. Woo! I like that. I like to hear that. So it's the first thing we do to set the day up. What's the next thing we do? We're going to find our morning market structure, right? Morning market structure. First 3 5-minute candles. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We're going to mark those. Let's make them yellow. Make them a little bit bigger. Here's morning market. Where's the low of morning market? Well, it's at the first candle low. So right here. Okay. So the 2 yellow lines are our market structure of the day. Morning market structure. Really, you only get a very small... Here's a red rejection. Really small play on this. This was chop fest. I was getting chopped on at the dentist while y'all were watching this chop. I think I seen Josh get a little win this morning though. I can see this last little run of pre-market. You could have took some risk and got over this little. This created a little bitty channel here on this 5 minutes. Do you see that, guys? You know, I'm telling you, I often mark reversals when I find reversals in price action and channels. Channels are just consolidation. So this could have played. This candle could have played, but it's high risk, right? High risk. So really, technically speaking, the only time you can make this work, the only trade here that really makes sense is this candle here crossing over morning market structure. Would have gave you $499.50 up to 501.50. Point and a half. I'll take it. I'll still take it. It's a small move, but I'll take it. Now, where's another place we could have possibly took a risk at? Anybody see? Where did we test at? We retested the bottom of morning market, right? Custom FX, you can do it. Okay. So, you could have took risk to the upside here by using this support line. If you didn't like that support line, you don't play it. Or if it looks like this is a little bit of a fake move, right? A little bit of a double top on a 5-minute. You came down, you retested the bottom of morning market, and it hopped off of it. This whole area played like a range right here. Look at this. The whole thing's a range. And with a couple of little fake outs over top of it. This would eat you up all day long trying to trade this, unless you just trade the lows, which you would have only got one retest, and playing puts off the top. But, there's always a but in the room, right? Let's go to a higher time frame and check ourselves. Let's go to 15 to start. I just want to show you something while there's no movement here. This was opening bell from right here. Look how flat this whole area. There's no breakaway in the MACD. You see that? It never took off either direction. This was just flat. That's why the price action remained flat. Why does this do this to me? So that's why we stayed in a range right here. Really flat. Which leads me to say somebody knew something about news coming in. Excuse me. Okay. So 15 wasn't giving us nothing. What was 30 doing? 30-minute MACD. Really not giving us much. Not showing us much, right? 1 hour MACD. Well, it didn't show us much for a little while, but we did get the cross up right there. Got to zoom in a little bit, but we got a cross up in the MACD on the 1 hour time frame. Now, when we got this cross up, this started getting on my radar. What's the next thing I'm looking for, y'all? I'm always looking for that blue line to fire through the zero line, right? So let's just do the MACD for a second. For anybody new, the MACD has a, look at this yellow line here. Is there any way to change that? Okay, I'll do it like that. You see my yellow line? Jabrams. I'll look at VWAP. So look here. A 1 hour MACD. Well, let's go back test it here in just a second, okay? I want to show you the difference in something. You see how far away from the zero line we are on this cross up versus this cross up? You guys notice that? We're not always down this far. So this price action had a long way to climb to get into that zero line, but it's still, I about guarantee you, let's go back and check the price action now on that cross up. Wow, looky there. Look at this cross up. Just this cross up right here alone gave you 494.25. This was probably a news candle. Oh, that was fake news, wasn't it? Nevertheless, you got this whole day, right? Into the next day. It's usually a 1 to 3 day move is what I get out of it, Autumn. Pete, I'd say you're right. Now, just noticing this one had a long way to go to get up to the zero line. The red bars and the green bars on the MACD are the histogram. The blue line is the MACD line. The orange line is the signal line that trails, okay? A 1 hour, simple 1 hour cross up of the MACD generally produces a move. Now there are instances like this one back here. Let's check it out. This was April 2nd. A small move, yeah, but when I check April 2nd and it crossed right here, you could almost anticipate this cross because look at the blue line. Look at the MACD line. Comes all the way to the histogram middle point of the zero line and bounces in pre-market and then gives us a cross up. Look at this. 558.30. 565.80. Who don't want that? Who doesn't want that? Right? Is it hard and patient to wait on a 1 hour cross? Yeah, it is. But it is usually a very good move. It's usually a very good move. So you can let's see here. You can set an alert somehow. I'll have to look into it on the cross of the 1 hour. But it's so slow, you usually got time and days to start checking this out as it's moving in that direction. I've been watching this for a while. I was watching it back here when we bled down so hard. It's the same in reverse. When we get a cross down, most of the time it produces a move. Now, look at this big steep drop down. Produced a heck of a move. Several days, 1, 2, 3 days worth. Sometimes the waters aren't so easy to navigate, but here's Here was a pretty good move. This blue line, if the MACD is on the bottom side of the 0 point, it is technically in bearish hands. But that cross up starts showing you momentum is changing. Okay, momentum can be changing. And the follow through move, you see, like when it's way down here away from it, oftentimes it takes a cool off and then another smaller move. See this one? See how we're increasing? It's so far away from the MACD, it has to climb some, get relief with a cross down, which produced a down day. It found support at a higher spot than here. This is bullish divergence. You get another big cross up after hours that day. You could have possibly anticipated this or caught the follow through. The big move comes when the blue line fires through the 0 point, the middle of the histogram. That's when usually the bigger move comes. And you can see when it fires through it, you get a 2-day move here. Actually, it ends up probably being more than that when you count these up here, but a really strong 2-day move off of that. That's all I saw today. I had no clue about news. Wow, that was in it with the SPY bouncing all over the place on option price. Yeah, the options was going insane. What's up, VCD? V jamming, it happens to me all the time. I miss big moves like that. I didn't know news was even dropping. Had no clue. Had no clue whatsoever. I feel you, Jay. What do you think tomorrow we start the sell off? Oksana, why would you think sell off? Any inkling of why? There were other people messaging me today asking me to short it. If we could go short, can we go short? Can we go short? Well, what's telling you to go short? At the very least, this 1 hour MACD, the RSI is starting to be in overbought territory, but I would imagine a cool off, maybe a pullback. What do we want to find now? We want to find support, get a pullback, and retest it. So that's the same thing that's going to happen on the MACD. This blue line is probably going to work its way down some and probably we're going to see, will it test the 0 line or close to it and then produce another move up? And will it be larger than the previous move up? We're now in bullish hands on the 1 hour. Okay. There's nothing telling me to short this other than a possible quick scalp tomorrow. Now, we'll see when it gets there. But what I want to do is find support. So let's find today, when we came up to the top, what did we do? We tried to break the 9 here. We tried to come back down. What did we do? We reversed, right? So let's mark that. Right there's where we reversed. Then I'll get a better look on it. Let's get a 15. Looky there. Looky there on that 15. Look at that big old candle. All we did was pull back and test the 9. That's at 530. 530. Okay. So if we run, let's get a 1 hour here. Let's get the 1 hour. Let's get the profile out. Fixed range volume profile. Now we can see what we got here. Do you see why it was kind of easy at this point to continue? Does anybody see this play set up? Bottom, up, bottom, up. Here's the neckline. You break that neckline, she shot up. Now, here's our volume profile. Check this out. Look where there's no volume at. Basically, all through here. Right here was what we had to break over. 523, 524. I didn't see us getting there today, but I also didn't know about news. My first point to get over today was right here, 507. We had to climb over 507. We need to hold. Get rid of my drawings. We need to hold this shelf. 541.40. And then we need to hold this shelf if that loses at 535. Okay? Does that make sense? Look right where this candle wicked. Closed here. Red candle wicked off of it. Green came up. Right here on this volume shelf. I guarantee you that next. Let's see here. Yeah, that's how I would play it. So I'm going to call this 535, 535.25, 535 to be safe. That has got to hold. We have got to get above this. Look right where we wicked. Right there. 547.40. We got to get above that, okay? Yep. CPI could reverse. Yep. You're right, Abry. Sell off because there's still tariff insanity. I mean, it could, but this was really bullish news today. The next piece of the puzzle to me would be China. So, if China comes to the table, or I'll say when China comes to the table, when they work something out, however they're going to work it out, the powers that be, they, like, to me, that will be the next rip moment. So we have CPI tomorrow, Julie, is that right? Jose, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, J. Abrams, that's what I was just, yeah. Okay, Autumn. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go over this right quick. Everybody can screenshot my settings, okay? Anytime you pull up this volume profile, it's going to be under default settings. And all that I do is go over here and type it in. FIXED. It'll come up. Fixed range volume profile, okay? Click it. And then I'll just go over here in this blank area and click it once. It goes to the last candle active. And then I like to measure under us and over us. The only hard parts to me are when we're in such a downtrending market that I'm having to go back a year and 2 years to find levels. And that's where I was. That's how I found my levels the past few weeks. Okay. So here's my settings. Anytime on TradingView you pull this up, you get this settings tool right here, right? Click settings. I'll let you screenshot it, Autumn. Here's the inputs. Go ahead and screenshot. Row size 30, value area 100. Okay, and style. Value area high, value area low, POC. I have simply changed the colors. And I've changed the POC to a broken dot. That way I know what the POC is. POC is point of control. It is the highest volume shelf of the area you have measured. The width of the box I alter occasionally because that's what gets the bars across your screen farther. If this goes up, they'll come across more. If you bring it down, I like to get it showing over current price action at least, so I can picture it as a shelf or a wall or a step. That's in my visual of it. So I've just altered these colors. The value area high and value area low is just showing you the high point and the low point of what you have measured and calling the value area. It's just the value. It's measuring for you what you have pulled back to. Now, that's the only thing I change on here, except for the value area. This comes standard at 70. And what it does, it'll still show you this up here, but it shades it darker because it's telling you what you have measured, the area you have measured. The majority of that area, the 70% majority is down here. See how it shades different? So I just like to see the whole thing measured. This shows me 100% of what I'm measuring. I still get the same shelves. Okay. So hopefully that helps you with the settings. I don't usually run the developing POC. It's a little wonky, a little tricky. Okay. And that's it. That's how I run it. That's how I can find big levels this way. Okay. You're welcome, Autumn. Sailfish, yeah, there's shelves above us. We're in a shelf right here. So if we go to a 4 hour, the problem was finding shelves below us. There's all kinds of volume up here above us. See? None of this was showing until we started selling off about right here. And then I told everybody about a week ago 540 was my line in the sand. And if you go back, I don't remember how far I went back. That was a week or two ago when I measured that. The shelf is printed differently now. May have been right there. May have been from this swing low. Right there it was. I knew there was going to be a steep drop off when we lost 540 right here. And I didn't think we'd be caught till quite a ways down. 530 was the last thing sticking out for us. Thank you for the super chat, Autumn. Rajesh, it's the visual. It's just the visual to me. I can't tell you. It may not be for everybody, but if I go on a 2-day chart and I'm looking back here at these volume bars, like, I don't know, that it doesn't visualize very well for me, you know. Like, these are the same volume bars, yeah, in essence. But it's printing in a way that's showing me buyers and sellers over on its side. I mean, this is a pretty popular tool that people use. And there's different versions of it. There's the visible range, which is the same in essence, but it will only measure what you're showing it at this point. I'll use this occasionally. You'll pretty much see the same thing I had today, and then once we crossed above this neckline, you started getting a large break here with no volume. And up here is showing your bigger resistance. And also here's your same volume profile bars that's sticking out. It's just the way I look at it, the way I've gotten used to set it. Scott, how do I set up the volume profile? I just showed everybody my settings and told you to screenshot it. I can pop them up again if you need me to, Scott. I'll do it one more time. So I click on it. You can measure what you want to measure. I'm not touching nothing. I just drag over here to the blank area where nothing has happened. I click once. It will automatically go to the last candle. Then if I just want to measure back to like last week, I can just go straight back. I don't have to go to the candles. You can just go straight back. Okay? You can just go straight back as far as you want to go, and that's what it will measure. If I want to go to here, so there's heavy resistance up here. Now, do I take into account buyers versus sellers? Sometimes. it will print it on these bars if you elect it to. I mostly look at the structure itself is how I view this. You can go in and alter the settings to your liking. Here you go, Scott. Here's the settings for inputs. Go ahead and screenshot. Autumn, you have to adjust. Okay, there's the inputs. Screenshot. Here's the style. Get you a screenshot. Rajesh, definitely higher time frames are more accurate with MACD for direction. 15, 30, 1 hour for sure. The opening 15, 20 minutes, I'll check out the 5-minute MACD some. Or if I'm scalping real quick. Autumn, you have to change this width of the box to your liking. So you can make it 175. It'll come way across. Width of percentage of the box. Okay. I like to get the highest bars kind of coming across the screen some. That's what you have to adjust. And I'm so glad to hear that. It still tops out at the current price action. I'm going to click on it and bring settings up one more time, Autumn. Do you have extend right on? I'm on a 1 hour, Autumn. 1 hour time frame. And I measured back to March 13th. Okay? Let's go back to like March 14th or so. It will print this up here for you. I can see this whole big range up here. Anna, thank you so much. Does that help you, Autumn? Okay, that's cool, Autumn. No problem. Okay, guys. So, going back to today, I like to go review these things on a day by day, and see what I've missed, see what I've... Let's get to 15 here. You need to play around with the time frames and see what... Let's go back to this last little piece before we downturned. This is 547.40. That's where we was wicking. You can see these two volume shelves right here is kind of toying with us. So I would like to hold this 535. I could tell you today, when we were trading early, that I wanted to get, just from here to here. You see this blank spot, this empty space? How when we were going above it, we were going to the next one. That's $499.50 to $502.50 conservatively. That's a lot of points on an option. When I spread this out and look at a 5-minute chart, look at that. Just playing this blank area here, catching a couple of these candles on scalps right here, taking it long. Got a nice one. You got a reversal. Might have took this candle long. As it crosses over, you get 500 up to about 501.40, about a point and a half. And then when that one, if you're flip-flopping back and going and looking at your MACD for direction, once that 1 hour cross happened down here, it was telling me to keep my eyes open, and then we started pulling away from the signal line, and that was showing me upward movement. And what else was happening while that was going on? RSI, if the RSI had just gotten to about 50, 51 and kind of sputtered out and come down, it wouldn't have followed through. It would have just crossed back down. Instead, the RSI on the 1 hour, the buying pressure increased. Once it starts hitting 50, 52, 54, 55 and starts pushing, that's when buyers are stepping in, and you're seeing the volume, the strength increase. And that's when you might be getting shook out of a 5-minute trade, looking at it in tunnel vision, saying, oh, these red kits about to break down. It's about to break down. Well, if you had just marked your low of morning market structure, you would say, okay, we're not breaking it. We're not breaking lows. We're not breaking morning market. It wasn't making new lows. It was staying above VWAP. It's giving me some bullish incentive, So the 1 hour points the way quite often, especially on a cross up, especially when that blue line fires through the signal line or through the zero. Campos, I did okay at the dentist. Probably still not enough to pay my dentist bill though. I'm not sure, Julie. Not sure. Okay, my friends. I love y'all. I wanted to get on here and kind of go over the day. just generally speaking, we have to mark our pre-market highs. We have to mark our pre-market lows. We have to get our morning structure. When I get morning structure here, 1, 2, 3, really the top of it, if you just do the bodies, is those purple lines. And it keeps you might get a scalp or two right in here or right there. It keeps you out of the trade until right here. Look, it keeps you out of the trade until you get to the good, juicy stuff, right? Because why? We were breaking structure. I didn't make a video on it, Terry. Let's see here. Let me just look at something. Let me see if I can buy something right now, Terry. On a 5-minute, this will serve the same way. Oz, I just marked it for you. It is the first 3 5-minute candles, the high and the low, wherever the highest point and the lowest point is of the first 3 5-minute candles. That sets your standard for morning market structure. And you can basically, if you want to just trade safely, you will wait to be over VWAP and over or under your market structure, with pre-market structure being your second piece of structure, the highs and lows of it. Okay? It's a quick rundown. So if I buy a share, this thing's moving like a turtle, of course. Let's buy I never buy shares on here. I'll have to make this a limit, right? Limit order, limit price. Can I buy it on the phone easier? Where's SQQQ at? SQQQ trade limit one by overnight trading. Did it give it to me? It bought it on the other one. Okay, right here we go. Okay. Did I get stuck with my SQQ? Nope. Nope, I sold it this morning. I had some DCS. Thank you, Terry. Okay, Terry. I think to move, this is the same thing. So on turbo options, this is why I have added the positions tab. I'm going to do this right fast. I'm going to remove it and I'm going to add it. So I've got it. Here's my drop down windows. You come to the 3 lines over here, right? Click it. Add a widget. Then we go to all widgets. These are just drop down tabs. You hit the trade. Go down to positions. Hit the plus sign. Now we have a floating window. Okay. You just grab it at the header at an empty spot and drag it. Now it's going to start lighting up blue when I get to the top of that header. You see how that goes blue? And I'm going to drop it. X off. Now it's become a drop down tab and it shows my position. Now on turbo, you can elect by right clicking turbo option settings, go to the buy button. You can elect to do a stop loss as soon as it sets your order. You can. I don't like adjusting it from Turbo Trader though. It lists it kind of funky to me. So I like to go, after I bought, if I'm going to set one, I'll go to positions. I click right here. This would be the contract. So when I click it, it shows me my positions. Now I just come over here and highlight the contract, just like I am right now. And it's going to come up with take profit, stop loss, okay? Okay. When I highlight this, I click take profit, stop loss, and I clicked it, okay? I activated it. Let it go. Drag your mouse down it wherever you want it. Click again. Then it set the stop. Click, then drag it up to the green. Click again, and it has set a take profit. Confirm. I can't do it right now because it's overnight. Can't do stops. And then you just confirm it and click OK. So I'm going to do it one more time. Highlight your option. Click TPSL for take profit stop loss. Drag down, click, drag up, click, confirm. Then it'll be set on your chart. Okay? Hopefully that helps you. Yeah, Rashish, that's just something you would have had to have been in front of the screen to re-enter the trade. Just imagine if it came down and went down as hard as it went up today. That would have at least protected you. Again, it's aggravating, but it's there for a reason. You would have just you just needed to re-enter the trade. There was so much momentum with this news. Once this broke, that 1 hour gave us that big green candle there. I ran that thing for 40 or 50% because I told everybody back here at 12 o'clock, 1 hour cross up. You got, if you entered then, you got this all the way up to 505.70, 497. I mean, that's a 6 or 7 point move. And you got that retest of VWAP on the news. She was gone. Once this candle starts crossing either the body is early or the wick of the previous candle, I'm going in and riding momentum. And I just had to ride it. And I rode it. I rode all three of these candles, but it was so fast, there's no way to get on and say something. There's no way. Yep. Okay. If you want to modify the stop, once you've set it, it appears on the screen. You can just click, drag it where you want to, and then confirm. It allows you to click and drag it and move it. All right, my friends. That is all my time. I love you. I appreciate you. If you want to support me, you can do so by subscribing to the Discord with my link. That supports me big time. Oh, Belinda, this ain't the first move you're gonna miss. Day by day by day by day by day by day by day. It's one move at a time. It's a mental game. It's a marathon. It's not a race. There's gonna be bigger days. I would take a month worth of 10 to 20% versus one of these days, because you can't plan on this day. You can't chart this day other than knowing where your levels were. And this made sense anyways. This made sense to be in calls before the news. And I told everybody an hour before the news, we got a 1 hour cross up on the MACD. It's a bullish signal. Right there it was. A 1 hour cross up generally produces a pretty good move. Do you have to be patient for it? Yeah. Sometimes it even pays to buy. If you're going to buy an option, you would buy 1 day out or 2 days out and let the move take place. Set yourself a stop loss, let the move take place. Rachish, I live trade Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Yep. Anybody that don't know, you go to the Discord. These are for newer people, I guess. But you go to the Discord. Look, you just scroll down. You got all these trading floors, all this. And then you got crowned traders. Right there I am. Spy Lord. You can right click on my name or hold it in on the mobile. Go to notifications, click all messages. Okay? Then when I post, I tag my name and you'll see it. Oh. All right, guys, I love you. I gotta go. I'm tapped out today. Tapped out. I'll have new levels in the morning. If anybody's emailed me for one-on-one coaching, I am getting back as quick as I can. Just be patient. Just be patient. I only have so many hours in the day, and I can't live trade and do one-on-ones and some YouTube videos and then live stream. I'm trying to manage it. So just be patient. And I've returned every email and every message up till the point where I'm like, okay, I'll do some more tomorrow and more the next day. But I've not skipped anybody. If I have, email me again. It's no problem. Or message me on Discord. It's no problem. Okay. So, yep. If you want to support, hit the description in the video. If you're not on Webull, use my Webull link in the video. TradingView. That's what we're on right now, TradingView. It's a great charting platform. Guys, my levels have been really good lately. Been really, really good. So sometimes you just have to be patient for that level to hit or be crossed. And, I've told everybody this: new highs, new lows makes lots of sense. Look, we didn't make new lows, did we? We didn't make new lows. But we climbed above previous day highs. Well, that alone was telling you, even if you didn't catch all of it, when this candle come up here and closed, started moving across previous day highs, hell, I'm going in. So it come across previous day highs there, previous day highs here. Now we are at previous day highs from Thursday of last week. We're making new highs. Next thing we get across, here were those, I would say here were those lows. Here's that low. I like that level. What is that? That's almost where we're at, right? Yeah, I like that. I like 547. So I'll have new levels in the morning. Tomorrow's Thursday. I'll be on live trading Thursday, okay? Campos, thanks, man. Thanks for the super chat, brother. All right. Yasir, I just use standard RSI and MACD. It's just, you go to your indicators, type in MACD, moving average convergence divergence. That's the one I use. I don't alter it, and I don't alter the RSI either. Relative strength index. Thanks, Campos. Thank you. Scott, just as a quick, man, VWAP determines my, early in the morning, starts determining my direction, whether the price is above or below it. Initially, we got above it and above the 9 EMA here, so we gave a little bullish run, but we stay. You got one bounce on VWAP here, but while the price action was just ping ponging all day, VWAP doesn't do anything for me until I start pulling away from it. Every time I pulled away from it or below it, my stance is switching back and forth a little. So that's why I use morning market structure also. Once we broke away from it, we broke away from morning market, we created bullish sentiment. Oftentimes VWAP plays as a bounce or a resistance or support. Like right here, bounce, 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 bounce off VWAP. We go up, we get a little run up, then we break VWAP. Here's the first, like back on that day, here was morning market structure, there and there. We break below VWAP here, right here. Then we break under morning market structure here. We get this move. We back test morning market structure. Then we get this. Make sense? All right. I got to go. Love you guys. Much, much, much appreciation. Much appreciation. All right. I'll be on in the morning. I'll try to be on a little bit before opening bell, okay?